Hey, it's Sydney with Montgomery Admissions Consulting, and today I'm going to debunk some common myths about going to law school. Here at Montgomery Admissions Consulting, I believe in increasing access to law school for students across race, gender, and socioeconomic status. So, I've compiled a list of some of the common perceived roadblocks students have when thinking about the law school process, and I will debunk some of these myths. The first myth: I don't like political science, politics, or government, so obviously I can't become a lawyer. False. There are plenty of very successful law school graduates who aren't interested in politics, political science, or government as it's traditionally thought of. While many well-meaning relatives and mentors may tell you that majoring in political science is the best way to get into law school, political science majors make up only about 1/5 of all law school applicants. There are many different kinds of law and lawyers. Many areas of law, such as family law, elder law, bankruptcy law, trusts and estates, child welfare, personal injury law, I could really keep going. But many of these areas of law focus on direct services representation, and they may be a good choice if political science, politics, or government doesn't immediately pique your interest. I can tell you, I'm actually not that interested in politics, and I know that's shocking because I went to Harvard Law School, but I was mostly interested in child advocacy and helping children reach their full potential along their path. I wasn't interested in the traditionally thought of government or legal spheres. I majored in English. All my independent research was in adolescent fiction. I actually wrote my thesis on Harry Potter and the Hunger Games. And I took my 4 years in college to study what I truly loved. That's what you should be doing. Maybe you're really interested in biology. Study that. Maybe you're really interested in acting or philosophy, comparative literature, world languages. Take the 4 years in school to really maximize your learning and your intellectual curiosity. You can go to law school with any major. So don't just put yourself in a box. The next myth is that my high school grades or my undergrad grades aren't good enough to make it as a lawyer. First off, law school admissions officers care more about your growth and your journey than just your numbers. Just because your high school grades aren't as good as you would like them to be, doesn't mean that law school's out of the question for your future. Your high school grades are important, and they are one of the most important factors for college admissions. But that doesn't mean that it has to impact your ability to become a lawyer. Perhaps your GPA has impacted your ability to get into that top college that you want, and that's okay. All hope is absolutely not lost. Take it as an opportunity to apply yourself and work hard in the college that you do end up enrolling in. Take advantage of career advising offered at your school, seek out internships, make connections with professors, and of course, do well on your LSAT. If you apply yourself and succeed in college, that will make a big difference in law school admissions. Following that up, many people feel like they can't get into a good law school if they start at a community college or a lower ranked school. Perhaps your GPA is such that attending a community college is the right next step for you. Or maybe it's just the best decision for you and your family financially. There are many reasons for why community college is the right choice for some students. Starting at a community college, however, does not doom your law school chances. Apply yourself and be successful in your community college so that you can transfer to a strong 4-year program. Perhaps your journey and growth will become part of your diversity essay or optional supplement in your law school application. There is no one right path to law school. Everyone's journey is unique. I want to pause here and talk about college GPAs and college journeys. I've spoken to so many people, especially women, minority women, who have told me that they feel like because of their undergrad GPA, they can never go to law school, even if that GPA happened 10 or 15 years ago. Please understand that law school admissions is a holistic process. Your story and your journey is important. There are things in your story that they will only know if you tell them. Tell them about how you have worked those multiple jobs and how you're a wonderful mom or dad, how you take care of your parents, how you're there for your siblings, how you've really climbed the ladder in your job and your career, how you've made a difference in your community. These are all very important things. If law school was just based off of numbers, then there could just be a computer that plugged your LSAT score and your GPA in and popped out an acceptance. But that's not what it is. Law school admissions is more than just your numbers. So whether you have a lower LSAT score or a lower GPA, whether that GPA happened last year or 20 years ago, don't let anything stop you from becoming a lawyer. Being a lawyer and going to law school is absolutely attainable. You just have to figure out the path for you, and you have to figure out the school and the program for you and what makes sense for you in your future. But the myths that because of some one thing in your past, you absolutely can't ever go to law school, honestly, that's just negativity that you don't need in your life. Those are just people that are trying to steal and block your dreams and your joy. And I say no to that. Don't let negativity cloud and derail your dreams. Go after what you want and don't let anything stop in the way. Now, the next myth is that people feel like they have to know exactly what kind of law they want to practice before they can go to law school. Again, there are many different kinds of law. Admiralty, child welfare, family, taxation, education, trust and estates, First Amendment, mergers and acquisitions, intellectual property, bankruptcy, elder, criminal, civil rights, entertainment, health, environmental, immigration, disabilities, international law, employment law, personal injury, military, real estate, and so much more. The point is, nobody expects you to go into law school knowing exactly what you want to practice. Much in the same way that many students change their intended major once they go to college, many students change their mind about what kind of law they want to practice. What's more, many practicing lawyers will switch fields at some point in their legal career. That's the great thing about going to law school. You have a law degree and you can do with it what you want. What law school admissions care about is that you have a compelling reason for why you want to go to law school in your personal statement. Now, that compelling reason might point you to a specific type of law, and that's okay. And maybe it's a specific type of law, but you've got 2 or 3 other types of law that you're sort of interested in. Also okay. You want a clear and concise personal statement that expresses why you want to go to law school, what your motivating desires and goals are, but no one is going to hold that piece of paper up to you at graduation and say, this is the type of law you said you wanted to practice, so I better see you taking a job in that field. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to be influenced by the information that you gather at your time in law school. You're allowed to learn from your peers and your professors. You're allowed to discover something new. These are all great things. What I'm saying is that you don't have to have it all figured out. It's important that you're able to convey why you want to go to law school in a way that makes sense because it is an incredible investment. But you should also keep an open mind that your plans can change. No one knows what 3 years is going to look like from now, so you should give yourself some grace on this process. Another myth is that people feel like, well, if I don't come from money, I can't become a lawyer. As I stated earlier, there are many paths to law school, and it's important that lawyers represent a wide range of socioeconomic backgrounds, because our clients will represent the complete range as well. As a first-generation law school student and as someone who was characterized as low income at Harvard Law School, I can tell you that there are many other students of similar backgrounds at Harvard and anywhere else you want to go. You will likely find first-gen low-income students at every single law school in this country. And I am heartened by stories about students who have gained acceptance to these schools despite being previously arrested or despite serving time at juvenile detention, despite being homeless or being a foster care student. What's more, there are programs such as the SEO Law Fellowship that help students of color thrive, setting them up at a law firm the summer before they begin law school and kickstarting their legal career. I think it's actually an asset to not come from money because you don't have a sense of entitlement, because you will absolutely take advantage of all that law school has to offer you, because you will take advantage of every internship and practice clinic, and you will be looking for ways to better yourself. But hopefully you will also have empathy for others. You will realize that you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. When you look at someone, you will realize that you can't possibly know what's going on in their life, so you should treat everyone with grace, kindness, and humility. You'll be grateful and gracious. You'll be giving and kind. You'll be helpful and a wonderful asset to the school. I feel like first-generation low-income students bring so much to the table, more than just our hard work and tenacity for which we are known for, but we also bring a certain set of character and beliefs and values that I think are so necessary to the legal field and the profession as a whole. Another myth is that you may feel like you have to study pre-law if you want to go to a good law school. You can major in virtually anything and go to law school. There is no set curriculum you need to study to prepare you for law school. In fact, pre-law is not actually a major, and it mostly just refers to the fact that law schools like to see that you have a strong reading, writing, and critical thinking. But these can be demonstrated through a variety of upper-level courses and curriculum. While there is no set academic coursework, pre-law societies at many schools can be a valuable resource for LSAT tutoring and tips, speaker series, as well as your law school application, interview, and resume advice. In that same vein, many students feel like if they are interested in the sciences or STEM fields, or if they major in that, they can't go to law school. Nothing could be further from the truth. Law schools are actually increasingly recruiting students from STEM majors into the field of law. With the growth of technology comes a growing need for lawyers who understand the technical intricacies of these products and services. Your personal statement is a great place to tell your story about why you want to go to law school and how you will leverage your STEM degree. Engineering and chemistry backgrounds can be great assets for patent and intellectual property law. And the patent bar is required if you want to be registered as a patent attorney. Only patent attorneys are qualified to represent clients in preparing, filing, or prosecuting patent applications. To take the patent bar exam, you have to prove that you possess the scientific and technical training necessary to provide valuable service to patent applicants, and have a bachelor's degree in a recognized technical subject, including studies in chemistry, biology, computer science, engineering, or physics. Now, when I mention these majors, I almost always get the question, okay, I started off as a STEM major and then realized it wasn't for me and switched to English. But my GPA in college suffered. Will law schools hold that against me? First off, they read your entire transcript. They will see that those first 2 years were in incredibly difficult science and STEM fields. Maybe it was organic chemistry that did you in. They will see that. They will know that. They will take that into consideration. If you graduated with a STEM degree and your GPA is a little lower than maybe some of your humanities counterparts, they will also see that and recognize that. Some law schools even give STEM majors a little bit of a bump because they recognize how difficult a curriculum is, and they want to continue to encourage STEM majors to pursue the law. If you're truly concerned about it, this of course can be explained in a very short addendum, and definitely see my video on how to write a law school addendum, and the tone that you should take should be explanatory and not excusatory, just briefly detailing that your first 2 years you were in a certain major and it contributed to a lower GPA, but then afterwards you were able to have an upwards trajectory in a major in a field that you liked. Or again, even if you majored in and finished in that STEM degree, that is the reason for your lower GPA. Some students say that they want to go to medical school or maybe any other professional school, so they can't be a lawyer. Now, there are a number of dual degree programs available in law school. And while a JD MBA or a JD PhD might be more common, a JD MD is actually a very valuable degree. Vanderbilt Law School states that their JD MD students work at the intersection of medicine, public policy, and ethics. Having a JD MD, and I knew a few at school, can be incredibly useful to those who wish to practice more academic medicine while focusing on the ethics and the law in primary practice. Prospective medical students who see themselves wanting to work in healthcare policy or who are passionate about patient advocacy would also benefit from considering a joint degree. Of course, there's so many more myths out there as it relates to law school, but I want to encourage you that if you have a passion for the law, if you feel like law school is your calling, don't let anything stand in your way. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in your dreams, because if you don't show up for yourself, who will? I am here to support you and encourage you and guide you through this process. Especially if you identify as a first-generation applicant, I really encourage you to join me in my Barrier Breakers program. We have weekly Q&A calls in which I help dispel some of these questions and these myths, as well as give you the tools and the insight and knowledge that I gained from law school to help you through your application process, but also to help you through your first through third years of school, Certain topics such as resumes and career fairs, how to study and outline. We talk through certain topics as it relates to race and being a minority student, being a woman, and also financial aid and scholarships. My journey as a first-generation law school student really inspired me to give back and to help others, and that's what I'm here for. I also encourage you to join me in my private Facebook group. It is absolutely free, and there you will also find a community, people who will help you and support you so that you don't have to feel like you're alone in this process. As always, I encourage you to subscribe to my newsletter where you'll get weekly admissions tips from me. Check out my blogs on my website. If this video was helpful to you, make sure that you like it and subscribe to this channel so that you can stay up to date on admission tips, and follow me on Instagram at @smontgomeryconsulting. I'd love to hear from you.